The idea of hate speech is something that plagues our country to this very day. Um, does the government protect it or censor it? Or by censoring hate speech, does that sort of compromise the idea of freedom of speech? Well, a hate crime is sort of when a perpetrator targets select victims and gives gives harsh reasons of hate speech, and that also um, hate speech also leads into hate crimes. The idea of hate is a certain circumstance viewed as unacceptable, which is speech that promotes uh, discriminatory and hateful views, which can be punished only if it causes immediate harm. So, hate speech can't be punished for just because the message is disfavored. So, for example, if someone has not that much of a great take um, when it comes to directing something sort of hateful, um, they can't be punished because people sort of dislike it. If no violence is involved, if no um, particular measures are taken, the government won't see that as harmful and they won't take action. So here's how they start to take action. One of the ways the government steps in um, is when expression is directly immediately goes to specific crimes against specific individuals. Excuse me. Specific individuals. Punishable fighting words that provoke fights or worse, riots. That's something that um, we have seen as as American people. Um, when something gets worse, when it comes to hate speech, it usually leads to a fight or a riot. Um, and that's usually when SWAT teams or police get involved. And that's sort of in addition of how our government gets involved with hate speech or hateful comments or hateful ideas. Uh, the government can punish. Um, the government can punish um, expression uh, that targets individuals' privacy and freedoms. So, for example, you know, if individuals target a specific person because of their race or their sexuality, and then they the people that are threatening, the people who are committing harmful speech, say that they're gonna sort of they're gonna track them down, or they're gonna stalk them, or all that other stuff. So all that, most of that, um, those ideas would usually get attention from the government because you know that's invading a person's privacy. Um, so another punishable offense is the government uh, can punish with a hostile work environment, um, whether that be sexual harassment, work environment, um, a racial hateful environment. Um, that's another reason for the government to get involved when we see lawsuits, particularly um, in a real life case example. Blizzard Entertainment, they've been accused for having a toxic work environment for certain employees, and that is a good example for the government. That's another good example of the government getting involved specifically in workplaces that spread hate and spread hate speech. Uh, Sometimes the government does get involved with the idea of hate crimes and subject to enhanced punishment. So sometimes they do get involved with ideas that are expressed for hate crimes, and that's when they get involved. Specifically, when it's specific threats of a certain group or a certain person, that's where the government gets involved and they intervene. So, in summary, the government cannot punish hate speech because the message um, is disfavored. Um, if it's a harmless speech, if it's a harmless way of hate speech, um, people just people can't be punished or arrested or you know looked at by the government if it's a bad take. If it's a bad take and people don't like that specific take, well then I mean the government's not going to get involved because it doesn't deserve the government's attention. If it's something bigger than that, and if it's something that's bigger than that, that's when it becomes a punishable offense. Um, when it cites a harassment um, or other, you know, and also facilitates other types of crime, whether that be fighting words or creates a hostile environment, um, or it is a true threat that threatens a life, threatens a group of people's lives, or threatens an entire community. That's where the government steps in and does their part.